Would it be crazy if I said that these tragic weather scenarios that are happening right now are not done by Mother Nature? We're still revealing what's going on in Texas. I told you it was coming to the southeast. Now look at North Carolina. A lot of you guys still don't believe that this is happening. I mean, have you guys took the time to look into it? tdlr.texas.gov, map of rain enhancement projects in Texas. I was gonna move on to a different subject, but got this in my face. Thought that this was way too valuable not to share with you all. That all to be said, huge warning to everyone out there, because your area could be next by the simple flip of a switch. Hey guys, my name is Cohen here at Riverside Homestead, and if you're brand new here, welcome. And if you guys are into prepping tips, emergency preparedness, and most important, news and awareness that affects you, be sure to start this video off with a like, hit that notification bell so you guys can stay up to date, and let's begin. All right guys, thanks for starting this off with a like. Like I said, I was gonna move on to a different topic because I got a bunch of other good topics of awareness that I need to bring your way, but this is all just a super hot topic. And the fact that it's now happening in North Carolina and some of the truths that are coming out about this, I'm going to show you quite a few good clips that's going to bring you up to date on what's going on in Texas. It's going to give you a little bit insight of what's going on in North Carolina, what people are finding out about what's really going on. Real quick, poor North Carolina. I mean, just relentless. You know, I keep hearing, they say 100-year floods, 1,000-year tragic weather event. I'm starting to see this a lot more often. Wouldn't you agree? Put it down in the comments. Let me catch you up on North Carolina real quick. It says flooding from Chantal's remnants forces dozens to flee their homes in North Carolina. Right here, this is in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Heavy rain and flooding from the remnant of the tropical storm Chantal forced dozens of people to flee their homes in central North Carolina, officials said Monday. It says that there was more than 60 people were displaced Sunday and Monday. Right here, this looks like a dumpster in somebody's garage or something. And then right here, this is just another shack, little food shack it looks like. Doesn't look like food, it looks like a demo site shack.
Could see more scenes like this after freak flooding last year during Hurricane Helene and Milton. And tonight the city kicked off a series of meetings trying to calm those nerves. And our Chad Mills found out what the city is doing to be more prepared for that severe flooding.
So much water in so little time.
Milton was a problem.
Flooding during Hurricane Milton last October shocked Jim Woyak and a lot of his neighbors near North Tampa.
I'm on 19th, up on 22nd, they got clobbered.
That flooding is the reason Jim's here, almost 9 months later, to ask questions, raise concerns.
So the point of that, a lot of people trying to figure it out. Now I want to show you the good stuff here in a minute, the stuff that's really going to make you start scratching your head and thinking twice. But let me just say, a lot of news places are even saying, how come they didn't know about it? You can't tell me it's about the weather. You can't tell me it's about budget cuts, because we still have all of that type of funding in place. We should be warned of this type of stuff well in advance. Check this out.
This morning, as the deadly floodwaters in parts of central Texas recede, growing questions about how the catastrophic rainfall seemingly caught this town by surprise.
Nobody saw this coming.
Before dawn on Friday, authorities say the Guadalupe River in Kerr County rose 26 feet in just 45 minutes.
We know that everybody wants more warning time.
Some local officials say the National Weather Service underestimated the extreme rain.
It did not predict the amount of rain that we saw.
The agency says an initial flood watch was issued Thursday afternoon. By 1:14 Friday morning, a flash flood warning was in effect in Kerr County. Hours later, around 4, that warning was upgraded to a flash flood emergency in parts of the county, alerting residents of imminent danger. Scrutiny also turning to the area's warning systems. The county's top elected official telling the AP it considered a flood warning like a tornado siren a few years ago, but, quote, the public reeled at the cost. The flash flood emergency, just the latest unexpected weather disaster in recent years. In 2024, after making landfall in Florida, Hurricane Helene ravaged the southeast, killing more than 200.
We were not prepared for this.
The storm dumping rain on mountain towns like Asheville, North Carolina, resulting in a once-in-a-thousand-year flooding event. Weeks later, Hurricane Milton wreaked havoc across Florida. The storm intensifying at one of the fastest rates in history, leaving entire communities underwater. Back in Texas, hope fades into heartbreak with so many lives swept away in the sudden storm waters.
Now, President Trump has issued federal resources and activated FEMA, which is an agency he has said he wants to.
Now, I've heard a lot of flack on that too. Cutting out FEMA when that's where the help's supposed to come from. But have we really seen the help when we do see FEMA? Now, getting the funding, that's one thing. But you go all the way back to North Carolina in a previous event. All the boots on the ground said they were zero help. That's just the comments that I read. You guys have to tell me your opinion down in the comments. Now I was sent this guy. This Bates guy. Now, despite him looking like he just come off a rap set, the guy went down a pretty interesting rabbit hole. Let's take you down that with him. So interesting that I had to chase everything that he said, and it checks out.
So a lot of things that happened with this flood in Texas is not sitting right with me. And of course, I went down that rabbit hole, and I'm about to let you know every last one of them. First of all, let's start with the National Weather Service. Why wasn't Texas warned about the type of rain that they was about to get? But I'm guessing the budget cuts had something to do with the National Weather Service and the NOAA not letting people know exactly what was going on.
Are they wanting it to look like the budget cuts affect the NOAA, affect the warning that we're supposed to get? Because I guarantee you it doesn't. Because I'm pretty sure you look down that rabbit hole, it doesn't. But maybe that's what they want people to believe, to downplay that specific act when I think the budget cuts were angled towards a different portion of this, not emergency weather warnings. And how in the heck could they not see this thing coming? We get days and days heads up on all kinds of weather. Definitely something fishy.
Next, now these weather conditions affected Central Texas. The rain made the Guadalupe River overflow. But listen to this. There is information and videos that shows that river raising. And let me just say this. That river raised very, very fast. Guadalupe River raised more than 23 feet in less than an hour and a half.
And I'm gonna show you something here in a few minutes. They compare the amount of water that came through this river to like what comes through Niagara Falls, which is huge, in like a matter of a year. Now, as far as people not making it, that toll has passed 80.
Over 50 people, 15 of which are children. And then, get this, let's talk about Camp Mystic, the all-girls camp, where most of those kids are missing. Let's just say that camp was filled with political elite children. You mean just say what I said? For over 100 years, they've been holding that camp there. A camp full of children that's the children of the elite politicians of Texas.
Now, this is one part I have not deep dug. You guys are gonna have to let me know if that part's true. So far, everything else that he's saying is checking out. I'm gonna show you here in a minute.
The map of rain enhancements in Texas. And then after you pull up that map, I need you to look in the area where that map basically is focusing. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that this shit is crazy.
So I did that. I pulled up the map. You guys are not gonna believe it. Let's show you. So here we are, TDLR, Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation .gov official map of rain enhancement projects in Texas. Now take a look at that map and realize that this was not Mother Nature. .gov, weather modification. Weather modification and control means changing, controlling, or attempting to change or control the natural development of atmospheric cloud formation or precipitation forms that occur in the troposphere by artificial methods. There's people out there that still don't think that this is real. Now look, this has been happening for the years way back when people thought everyone talking about this was wearing tinfoil hats. No, you can easily look it up now. You just type in keywords and you can find all the data you want to validate what so many people don't even think is true. Remember the lines in the sky? Yeah, I'm telling you. This particular TPWMA procured its own equipment, including 2 aircraft and radar and hired its own personnel to run the operation, which covers 5.1 million acres in the region between El Paso and Midland. So you take that part into consideration and you think, well, they did really screw up or have done it that long. They should know what they're doing, right? Which then makes you think, are all these people that are saying it was done on purpose have some truth to what they're saying? I don't know. I'm just telling you guys the crazy stuff that I'm digging up and people are sending me. You guys can look up what it means, downwind effects of the seeding and how that can affect what happened in this camp. You can look up this specific project right here in West Texas that focuses on enhancing precipitation through cloud seeding. The goal is to recharge aquifers and support water needs. And this is all brought up simply by asking AI to look it up for me. Simply put, it details and efforts into induce rain, replenishing the aquifers, and support agriculture. Now, you think about, do you trust every politician? Do you trust everything that gets funded? And then you think about at what scale something like this could be taken to. Making one particular side or party look bad for cutting some funding and not getting a warning that they should have got maybe, or power in the hands of people that are just letting it get way too far. I mean, I don't think anyone is out there policing this. That's the other scary part. I mean, look.
Oh shit, these people are bugged. Oh.
What is that?
Oh my god. Fuck.
What is that?
Oh no, this is not good, man. This is not good. Look, dude, those people in that house right there. Oh no, get out of there.
Look, these rivers rising, especially at night, right? I told you these things always happen in the middle of the night. Nobody gets to have a warning. And then you got people in their house, and then not even 45 minutes later, the house is basically underwater. I mean, look at these streets. This is nuts. And this is, I think, just recent footage of what's happening in North Carolina. If North Carolina hasn't seen enough in the last couple years, let me know what you think down in the comments. Now look, I'll also mention this again. I threw this out in yesterday's video, and it's because this is a way that you can help. This is a tiny little emergency sleeping bag. I happen to know the owner, and he's given us a huge discount. These things are very inexpensive. You get wet, you need to stay warm, this thing could save your life. But for every sale that this company sells, they donate one to an emergency homeless shelter for people in need like this. Between this and an emergency straw for clean water in this type of predicament, a couple very important things that could save a life in these tragic weather scenarios. So again, whether you're buying one for yourself or you want to pick one up just so that they donate one to these shelters for you doing a little part to help out, check out the link down in the description and the pinned comment if you want to help out there and get yourself a little bit more prepared, because this is how bad it's getting. This is the moment a cabin gets swept downstream in this Texas flood event.
There's people in it. Oh my god, there's so many people in it. Please tell me getting in the video. Yeah, kid's over.
Allegedly, that's raw footage of an entire cabin full going down in a flash flood in the middle of the night. And folks, I think we're gonna see a lot more of this. Not even a day after that one, we have all this southeastern weather phenomenon, 100-year floods, people evacuated, houses flooded, parking lots flooded. Anyway, I wanna give you a quick update on Texas real quick.
And to help ramp up those search efforts for the missing after those deadly flash floods.
The Texas Department of Agriculture is one of those agencies engaged in the response effort, and their commissioner, Sid Miller, joins us now. Commissioner Miller, thank you so much for joining us. We are so sorry for everything that is happening in your great state of Texas. But, you know, this storm hit cattle country, which means that the economic impact will be devastating. Tell us about what ranchers are facing right now.
Well, we've lost hundreds of miles of fencing, you know, barns, all kinds of buildings, structures. We found livestock, cattle in the tops of trees. We haven't, you know, we're still so focused on search and rescue of the over 40 people that are still unaccounted for that we haven't even, you know, had time to start calculating the agriculture loss. But it's very devastating. To try to put this in perspective, within a 24-hour period, there was enough water came down the Guadalupe River through Kerrville that would equal the water going through Niagara Falls in a month and a half. If you've ever been to Niagara Falls, you can't even get your head around what that is. It's 26-foot wall of water at 3 a.m. in the morning, and caught everybody off guard. We still have over 40 people missing. Our death count is up to 82 people in those 21 counties down there. It probably go over 100, unfortunately, because we still have over 40 people missing. My agency is part of the emergency management response. I have a fund called the Star Fund, which we raise money from individuals and private entities. We get that back out to the farmers and ranchers to cover things that crop insurance doesn't cover. Mostly fencing and building and burying dead animals, things like that. People want to donate to that, they can go to my website, texasagriculture.gov. We have a hay and feed hotline. If people want to donate hay and feed, you can go to that same texasagriculture.gov or call 512-787-9966. Most importantly of all, 3 years ago, I instituted a crisis hotline, a mental health hotline, a suicide hotline. It's called Agri-Stress. And I'm opening up that to any and every Texan, that's going through this mental anguish, that have lost loved ones or have loved ones that haven't been found or lost property. That number is 833-897-2474. 833-897-2474. So it's a very devastating flood. All hands on deck. We've been going 24/7 ever since it first hit. We're working with the governor, FEMA, local authorities, local sheriff's departments. We've got organizations coming in to feed people. My organization, we're in charge of nutrition programs, so we set up shelters for people.
So I leave you with this. There's a couple other big outfits that have to do with weather that I can't even mention the name because I've had that stuff disappear on me. But look, is there any correlation? Is there any coincidences? But look, is it just a coincidence? Like I said, I think we're gonna see a lot more of this. So be prepared and be aware. If you guys wanna pick up something really inexpensive and be helping out the cause, those links are down there. Check it out. Like I said, very inexpensive. And hopefully this will calm down so I can get on some of these other topics. Please share this video, let people know what's really going on, and let me know if you think we're headed down a rabbit trail that's got truth or false. Love hearing what you guys have to say and your perspectives. Again, make sure that notification bell is still clicked on because it gets magically turned off so often these days. And stay tuned because I got a lot more coming down the pipe. Keep prepping, keep learning, keep doing. We'll see you guys on the next one.